The biggest issue that I've dealt with so far on the carnivore diet is the cravings that I started to get. So I've been on the carnivore diet. I've been experimenting with keto and carnivore for about 2 weeks now. Strict carnivore for approximately a week. I had a couple of days where I messed it up a bit. So I'm fairly new at this whole thing, but I did overcome one of the biggest issues with it for me so far, which was the cravings. So um, I really can't find a lot of negatives to the diet. The only two that I can find is the cravings, like I said, and the cost of it. So I know a lot of people say, for the cost that you should go and buy ground beef and stuff, but I think I react to ground beef, so I have to go. I just have to go. Basically, I've just been eating steaks. Um, so I'll have to look into that at some point. But in terms of the cravings, so I started to get those. The first day was fine. Um, I didn't really get many transition symptoms. I think I felt a bit sort of tired because of all the fasting I've been doing. I think I just got used to the transition into ketosis. But yeah, then I went after the second day, I remember getting these crazy cravings after I ate. So I'm only eating one meal a day. I ate, I think it was about probably 2 kgs of beef, and I just got these cravings for sweet things. It wasn't necessarily fruit. It was just crazy things like chocolate and stuff. And then eventually I gave in, I think, at one point, and then a few days later I gave in again and ate some other sort of breads and sugars and things. What I learned from that is when I started eating these things, I just didn't really enjoy the experience of it. It just wasn't the same. I was kind of losing the taste for sweet things. And that just gradually happened more and more as time went on. Right now, I just can't really imagine eating anything sweet. The thought of it just doesn't really entice me. So, a couple of things I did. For me, something a friend of mine suggested was to try eat some cheese if you get these cravings. I did try that stupidly though, because I know that I'm intolerant or allergic or something to cheese. It does mess me up pretty bad. And the cheese did mess me up, but it got rid of the cravings. I find cheese really addictive as well, so I'm not sure it's one of the best foods for us. But that might help someone else that try a bit of cheese, high quality cheese if you get the cravings. I did try coconut oil as well, which did work. It's not carnivore, obviously, but it did help. And at one point, I did try peanut butter. But in the end, what seemed to get rid of them was time. And obviously, when I had that day where I did cheat pretty badly, I just sort of realized that I sort of craved carbs all day, and then I went and I bought the carbs and I ate them, and I just didn't really enjoy the experience, and it just made me realize it's just purely psychological. My body doesn't want them, and from then on it just got easier. I just accepted that the carbs that I just didn't really enjoy them anymore. Right now it's been about 2 weeks, and I don't really yeah, I'm not really experiencing any negative side effects. Some days I get a bit tired. I ate bacon and eggs yesterday, which I'm not used to, and it did sort of knock me out for a few hours because I'm not used to eating breakfast because I ate earlier that day. But in terms of when I just eat the steak and I eat it at the end of the day like normal, around 3 p.m. And I eat the 1 to 2 kilos of beef. I feel great. There's sort of slight itchiness in the body. So yeah, it seems to be going really well. The skin's clearing up. My sleep has been fantastic lately. So I just hope this lasts for a while anyway, because I tend to find that anything new goes really well for a while and then sort of dies off. But what makes sense to me with this is that it's an extremely low residue diet. I mean, I thought I was constipated for a while, but I wasn't. It's just there's just not much residue when it comes to this type of diet. When you're just eating meat, your body just absorbs all of it, and because of that, I just don't think the meat is getting to the damaged areas of the intestines. So I guess you could call it a fasting mimicking diet if there's not really such a thing, but it does, in a sense, mimic fasting parts of the body because the food just doesn't get that low. So that if I'm combining that with OMADs and 48s and just fasting as much as possible as normal, I'm hoping I should get on top of this whole thing within a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, if I just remain consistent with it. But yeah, that's it for now. Anyway, I didn't post much last week because I was sort of getting into the carnivore diet a bit and just sort of trying to understand it a bit better. But I got a few ideas, so I'm gonna make a few videos this week anyway. Cheers, guys.